After high school, I went to School of Visual Arts. My interest, once I got there, just broadened beyond illustration. One of my first illustration projects, my teacher was like, "You forgot to leave room for where the designer's gonna put the typography." And I'm like, typography? I'm not gonna let some jackass put typography over my artwork. Now I gotta learn graphic design.
What's understood ain't gotta be explained.
I'm Brian Romero. I'm an illustrator, artist, graphic designer. I was living in New York City for almost 14 years, working in the whole ad agency scene, and I was super burnt out at that point. My wife and I decided, let's try out California. I started drawing ever since I could hold like a crayon or a pencil or something. My parents got divorced when I was super young, so I had to spend a lot of time by myself. That's when, drawing helps. Like, you have this fantasy world where you can create whatever you want. I think it's kind of good to be bored as a kid to a certain point because you're forced to do something interesting or creative, or sometimes it goes the wrong way. I'm good at getting away with things. Skateboarding is where kind of my bread and butter. It's something I've always loved. I was never really a great skateboarder. I noticed the artwork right away on the skateboards. When I was a kid, these are the graphics that kind of I saw and kind of just reliving that. The work I create keeps me a permanent teenager. So much of that is entertaining and enjoyable to me, and I don't think it ever gets old for my audience. There's always going to be dudes who want like gross or sexy or just offensive imagery. I'm happy to make it for them. The graphic nature of my work is very influenced by comic books. As younger, I went to a comic book convention, got to see the original pieces there. That's pre-internet, so I had no other way of doing it except for going to a convention as a nerdy teenager and asking them how they did this stuff. When I first started doing artwork, I learned very traditional kind of comic book cartoon. You draw something in pencil first, you get some India ink with a brush, you do the final black and white artwork that way. Now you have the computer to help out, and for a while I kind of went too far with that. I decided to go back to my roots and just use the traditional tools and to do all the line work, and then just use the computer for the coloring stage. I like a lot of details. A lot of times I like to take something that is beautiful and shows so many details that it kind of becomes ugly, or take something that's ugly, you're repulsed, but it still has a certain level of appeal to it that you still want to look at it and not vomit. I've been asked, a lot about, does it bum you out that your graphics get destroyed, almost immediately by some teenage skateboarder, and I love it. Your board's supposed to get destroyed, you're supposed to destroy whatever you're skating on. I don't know, it's just cool that it only exists for that fleeting moment. This series was based on those public service announcements from back in the day. There's Smokey the Bear with a Molotov cocktail and a cigarette. This one's my favorite, Woodsy the Owl, except for he's polluting everywhere. Not everything I do is really harsh. Some of it's funny, some of it is much more laid back and has a more fun vibe to it. These are actually artwork for air fresheners. You can get some my artwork that will stink up your car. Make it smell good. I like taking the piss out of anything. Whatever I'm doing, I want the client, and I want, more importantly, the people who buy their stuff to love it. It's important that whoever looks at this t-shirt or skateboard or snowboard sees it and they want to buy it because it's rad. I'm just a soul whose intention